Support your Hobbit hobby.
Welcome Strategy Battle Gamers to another GBHL video production. As always, you're here with James.
And Jamie, and we're bringing you the Q&A just a little bit early because it's going to be Christmas tomorrow and we won't get time to record it. So sorry if you're posting tomorrow, but you shouldn't be. You should be celebrating Christmas or doing whatever you want to do.
Yep, this is another Speak Friendly question. As Jamie says, we're doing this now so that we don't have to do it on Christmas Day. We don't want to see each other on Christmas Day. We never want to see each other anyway.
It's just a chore, this is.
I know, I hate spending time with this man. Well, we are managed to do it on Christmas Eve. We've got about an hour before the lovely Jane heads home.
Yep.
So we're going to get stuck into these questions. Now, we had a long Q&A last time, didn't we?
Yes, so we thought we'd try and be a bit more concise. We've pre-read through the questions, and so we got some answers and ideas already in our heads of what we want to say, just because we do want to keep it short so we can get back to celebrating.
Or short-ish, anyway.
Short-ish, yeah.
Now remember, there is a rule. If we answer your question, then you've got to put a question next Q&A. If you are watching this video after Christmas Day, well, it'll be after.
Yeah,
it'll be Sunday.
It'll be released on Sunday, so it'll be released. I don't know.
If you put a question after the final question here, copy and paste that question and put it into this video below.
Yeah.
So that we can ask it in the next Q&A. So first up, we've got Howdear88. Thanks for your comment.
Yep.
He's put, I like your new haircut.
Thank you, Howdear88.
Yeah, he must be referring to you. Not me, I've not had my haircut a couple of weeks.
You can tell, jeez.
It's the problem. Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, coming from you, I guess it sounds like, what? It's because I've got, my fiancée is a hairdresser. So I get put to the bottom of the pile. Next up, we've got Thomas Minard. I watch all of your videos. They're so funny.
We're not funny. We're really not.
You're deadly serious. Deadly serious when I say this. Where's your question? Where is it? Come on. Get involved. Get your questions in. You want to read the next one?
Yeah, it's from Callum Winfield. He says, my question for next week or this week, is Azog worth it? You're saying no. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
It depends what points cost, doesn't it?
Depends what points cost. I mean,
it's expensive.
He's, for what he is, let's see if I can see if my PDF's loaded. No, it's not. He's fight 7, which is very good. It's going to take on most heroes. Strength 5, which is very good, but sort of unnecessary because he always gets a special rule that he always wounds on 3s. But his real letdown point is his defense 5 and 1 fate. I've played 2 games against him, one in a tournament setting, one in the battle report that you'll have watched. And you see in the battle report he dies very quickly to the Thorin's company. And in the tournaments setting, I managed to shoot him down before he even reached combat with my Wood Elf army. Simply because that defense 5 is getting wounded on 5s with strength 3 bows. He's just a bit fragile, in my opinion.
Yeah, bit fragile. Bit of a glass hammer.
Yeah, I think if you are careful with him, he could be very devastating. 4 attacks, 8 on the knockdown with the white wargs as his mount. Wounded on 3s, he could kill a hero in a turn very, very quickly. Kill a monster very quickly. But I think there is just that bit of fragility to him.
The white warg's good.
White warg's very good, yes. Auto passes all courage, has 3 might itself, so if you do decide to dismount, it can go off and just do its own thing and look after itself.
I was thinking what might be quite a fun list at 500 points. Let's bring Azog with his white warg, and then bring Hunter Orcs on foot, 12 of those, and then just fill the rest of the warband. I think it's 20 foul wargs you can get. Yeah. Dismount them immediately. Suddenly the wargs have got a thematic chieftain, effectively. Yes, and then you've got Azog on foot with the Hunter Orcs. Could be good fun.
Yeah, sounds good.
Might see that one day. Thanks for your question, Callum. Okay, next up we've got the Irish Cola Bearable. That's a cool username. The Irish Cola Bearable. What would be the best points for a White Council warband?
Yeah, if you go for just a full White Council warband as one army, you're looking at about 1,000 points just to get all the good characters in. If you just bring in one along as an ally, so sort of say bringing in Gandalf or Saruman, I'd say about 500 plus, just because they are going to impact on your actual army size, because you have to take another hero to lead troops. But yeah.
Thanks for your question. Remember to ask one next week. So next up, you want to ask this one?
Yep, it's Thomas Mucklin. Thanks for your advice, guys. I will definitely listen. Maybe use that list in a friendly game. My question this week is about Murrain and Draw for a dwarf army. What are your thoughts? As always, keep up the good work. So Murrain and Draw are, we've got our books with us this time. For the pair of them, they are pretty expensive. I think they're about
150
points, aren't they? They're only fight value 5, and the strength 4, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, and good defence because since they are dwarves.
They are 150. How good was that? Are you impressed?
Both get 3 mites. So that's a very nice bonus for your army. Both 1 will, 1 fate. So again, you got to be careful with them. They are sort of like that captain profile with an extra might point, and the real downside to them is that they will take up 1 space in your warband, so you're not getting 2 warbands for their cost. Whereas you could potentially buy Gimli and old Barlin for 165, but you're freeing up 2 warbands to do a very similar 2 roles that they fill. So I think they've got a place, but there are better options if you want to go for the sort of cost-effective points game style that I play.
Yeah, great if you want to get that extra might in there. So being able to get 6 might into any warband that you bring along is pretty good. But 150 points. They've also got the option to do an upgrade to Iron Hills Veterans, which is 2 points per model, and that takes them up to takes a Dwarf Warrior or Dwarf Ranger to Strength 4. Now, if you're doing that to a Dwarf Warrior,
it makes him 11 points, the same as a Khazad-Guard.
You might as well be taking a Khazad-Guard.
Yeah. Well,
apart from the fact that you can shield.
You can shield. Back when they were first released and I read about this one, it was always a toss-up in my mind between the Khazad-Guard or the Strength 4 Dwarf that can shield. Because I know when I used to play pure Dwarves, there's quite a lot of times I wish my Khazad could shield.
Like when I played your Dwarves?
Yes, yeah. That was a nasty game.
That was a nasty game.
But, I think ultimately I always think, well, when I break, or if I'm playing against something terrifying, I want that bodyguard rule so I don't even have to worry about courage tests. So I think Khazad-Guard would be a better bet than the Iron Hill Veterans.
So that's Murren and Dra. I hope that answers your question.
Or at least helps your decision on whether to include them.
Give them a go. That's the best way, because again, it might not work for Jamie. You might think, well, I would prefer to take these heroes. They work better for my style of play, but they might work for you. I mean, what's this? This sword. Khazad allows Murren to re-roll any wound rolls made against orcs, goblins, and Uruk-hai. Expert shot for Dra, can shoot twice in the shoot phase. But he's only 4+.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So yeah, give them a go. Let us know what you think. Okay, next up, Nathan Carlton. My question is, who is better to use, Erkenbrand or Ale the Young? Do you want me to answer this?
Can you let me? I'm going to say, I personally would say, as a leader and one-off hero, Ale the Young.
Yeah, easily. Yeah. He's a very, very, very good hero. He's got 3/2/2 on his stats. He's got the legendary hero, which means that you might not have to use his might point if you roll for it. 2 attacks, 3 on a charge, 12-inch movement, armoured horse. Yeah. That's all good. I think, but you're more likely to see Erkenbrand, because Erkenbrand as a supporting hero is cheap, and what he brings to the table is incredibly effective, isn't it? Yeah. So that +2 courage to the horn, with the horn, is brilliant, because all of a sudden your men are mostly high courage and elves are
equal to elves, and the fact that horns on a hero as well makes it that much harder to kill off.
Yeah. Yeah, and also the option to have the Warriors of the Westfold Red Shield upgrade.
God, learn your army, man.
Westfold Red Shield upgrade is really handy for Rohan. So you've got that fight for. Yeah. Fight value is quite important.
Plus, he's a lot less points, isn't he? What, 15 points less?
15 points less when you take your mounts into account.
Yeah.
So as a supporting hero, Erkenbrand, definitely. As a main hero, Ale the Young. Yeah. The trouble I find with Ale the Young is trying to fit him into sort of themed.
Yes, yeah, because he's alive before any of the other Rohan heroes that aren't named.
Yeah. So if you want a theme, you have to kind of name your heroes. They'd be good in a list together, to be honest.
Yeah.
They would if you just said that Erkenbrand or somebody else. Yeah. It's whether you like theme or not. Both very good heroes, but for different reasons. Hope that answers your question, Nathan. Make sure you ask a question next week. You're next up.
Next up is Mason O'Neill. He says, who in the history of Middle-earth do you each think is the most badass? And he's given us a list of options to choose from. We've got...
Hang on a minute.
Oh, okay. I know what you're doing. Oh, just going to drink some water.
Do you know who you are? Anyhow.
Yeah. The options that Mason has given us is Number 1, during taking on a Balrog. Number 2, Glorfindel killing a Balrog. Number 3, Gandalf killing a Balrog. Number 4, Gil-galad standing toe with Sauron. Number 5, Fingolfin wounding Morgoth. Or number 6, Aragorn taking on all the Nazgul.
I think we're probably going to agree on this one.
Yeah.
Should we go through them? Because it's a very good question. I like this question. Questions like this are cool.
Yeah. So during taking on Balrog on his own is pretty badass.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he does die though, so.
Which isn't so cool.
Spoilers, sorry. Oh, sorry.
But if they're watching this video, you should have read all the Lord of the Rings,
yeah.
appendices and everything, you know. Come on! If you've not read Lord of the Rings, get on it, guys. Come on. The Silmarillion and all that. Yeah. You're just reading the Silmarillion for the first time.
About 1/3 of the way through the Silmarillion for the first time reading
I won't ruin it for you, it's good.
Okay. Glorfindel killing a Balrog? It's pretty damn impressive.
That is...
Is this where the discussion of whether Balrogs have wings come from? Or should we not open that can of worms for people?
Or whether they should have wings.
Whether they have wings that work or not. Can I remember, isn't there something about like...
He smite him off the mic.
He smites and its wings don't work or don't...
Maybe he cut his wing off.
Maybe.
This is Glorfindel we're talking about.
Yeah.
Nails. That's pretty badass.
Cool. Gandalf killing a Balrog. As you mentioned when we went through this, it is pretty cool.
It's cool, but he dies as well.
He also dies and gets revived because he's Gandalf.
Yeah.
Gets sent back to finish his mission.
Yeah, and Gandalf killing a Balrog, you know, they're on an equal playing field.
Yeah.
Whereas Glorfindel isn't a Maya.
No.
You know,
he's
an
awesome
elf.
warrior.
So because of his awesome warrior capabilities, he kills that's more badass than Gandalf. Because Gandalf and a Balrog. The Balrog is just an evil version of Gandalf. And
essentially what he is, yeah.
Yeah. Which is why the movie's kind of, and the model itself, kind of, it's got no will on it.
It's got 10 points of will.
10 points of will?
It's got no might and no fate.
No might, no fate. Right.
Yeah. Gil-galad standing toe to toe with Sauron. Again, that probably is pretty cool.
It's cool, but he dies.
He dies.
Dying's not good.
Dying isn't badass.
It's not good.
Fingolfin wounding Morgoth, however, now that is
pretty badass.
As I said, the granddaddy of all evil being wounded by an elf. Yeah, come on.
Well, Aragorn taking on all the Nazgul.
That's like child's play for Fingolfin.
Yeah.
Fingolfin didn't do that.
Fingolfin wounding Morgoth is pretty badass. But I even think, you know, when Beren steals...
yes.
Are you up to that part?
Yeah.
Okay. Beren stealing the Silmaril, the jewel from
where he goes in and there's...
You've got to read the Silmarillion.
Because it's my first time, I don't know the names, but someone's just there like wailing. Is like...
Oh, being tortured.
Yeah. And that sort of spurs him on, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, who is it? It's somebody's dad. It begins with H.
Oh God! Oh. That's with most things I read in the Silmarillion. I'm just kind of like Herbert Nerber. I recognise that collection of letters. That's that person. I don't have a clue how to pronounce anything.
So I hope that answers your question, Mason. We're going for
Fingolfin and Morgoth.
Fingolfin wounding Morgoth is pretty cool. But what do you guys think? Okay, from DMS Deadmar Spectre of Shadow and Flame Painting and Sculpting Services. A wild man of Dunland who lost a fight with a barber. Yeah.
The beard's on its way back though.
I think it really suits you. It's just that first day and that first initial shock.
Yeah, it is.
No, it looks good. It looks smart.
It's growing on me.
I saw what you did there.
Yeah, thanks. I've been planning that one all week.
Disgraceful. Bet you have as well. Okay, DMS has put, what models do you need for Middle-earth's Deadliest Warbands?
Well, shall I get in touch with you in a private message, DMS, because we don't have the list with us and I can't think off the top of my head without sidetracking myself and going into too much
detail. We went through it ourselves a little while ago, so we were like, we've got none of the models, but we do actually have a few. It's just getting them painted up and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll definitely send you an email. Okay, next up. Choco Master is what we're going to say.
Choco Master.
Choco Master. Haha! It was very funny to hear how you pronounce my nickname. Is it funny again? Help us out, man. Come on. Let us know. But it would be hard to explain to you guys because it's based on Polish language.
Mikolaj. We'll get Mick to help us.
Yeah, Mick can help us. Okay. That's a good idea. Mick
is the league coordinator and is Polish. That's why he can help us.
Could you make an instructional video about how to use wizards in a game effectively, and tactics, how to shield them from combat heroes. As always, cheers from Poland.
Thank you, Poland.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, you need to learn how to use magic, don't you?
I definitely need Jamie's help using magic, because
On
I've
the way
fluffed a
over,
couple of times.
on the way over in the car, James was under the impression that a hero within a certain range of warriors could resist for them. So this shows you just sort of like how much you know the game, but then the areas you don't use.
Yeah.
Maybe you just don't use it, so you don't know it, basically. So yes, we should do an instructional video because I need to teach James how to use it.
Yeah, we won't give away the spoiler from the battle report, but you'd seen it in a battle report, hadn't
Yes,
you?
yeah.
You said, "Oh, did you just get that off camera?" And I had no idea. I thought that if a hero with will was in vicinity
Of a warrior, then they could resist. Sort of like if you imagine a hero is dispelling the spell for them.
yeah,
But yeah, it's not.
it's a shame really, because that would have helped me out. I'd have killed it. Yeah, so I think we will.
Yeah, we will.
We definitely will, and it'll probably be Jamie teaching me, and then you guys learning through Jamie teaching me. I think that'll be quite a good video style.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot more instructional videos from us as well over the next few months.
And if you just watch the battle reports, you'll pick it up just because we'll try our best to explain what we're doing, because I know I personally sometimes... Oh no!
Quick, put it on, or Jane will crucify me.
Keep spinning it.
Here.
There we go. Empty hook. Go back on this. No. Something I'm going to try and start doing when I'm playing battle reports is describing more exactly what I'm doing, because
and why as well.
feel that sometimes when I watch them back, I've not explained that. Someone new to the game might not know. I need sixes. Why do I need sixes? Sort of thing.
I think that'd be really good as well, because then it'd be a very different style between you doing a back rep and me. Cause mine tends to be kind of quicker about the dice rolls, and the action and the shot and stuff. And I think it'd be really good if yours were
A bit slower paced and just take you through the game.
so sort of learn to play really with Jamie, and
It's putting a lot of pressure on me there. a whole host of new strategy battle gamers playing all my mistakes.
that's right. No, thank you very much.
We will get those sort of videos out.
Yeah, and remember, we've got loads and loads of videos that we want to do, but
It's just
There's only so much
finding
time.
time.
we will get there. We're still releasing a video a day, so we're doing well. Okay, next up we've got that guy 513. Hello, that guy.
We remember you.
In my opinion, Smaug will be on a Mumuk-sized base that is modelled after Erebor's interior. Gold pile, maybe broken columns. With Smaug's wings slightly folded rather than fully expanded for the sake of size. With a Balrog dragon hybrid profile.
Maybe.
I think it'd be more like that.
I think a Mumuk size base is the only sort of point of reference we've got for a dragon model. That is the size and enormity of Smaug.
Yeah, and I think that they will get around it by having him sort of curled around.
Curling
and with his wings folded over, maybe. What do you think?
I
You
think-
still think Fine Cast... no, not Fine Cast.
It's forgeable.
Forgeable.
I think potentially, maybe. We'll see.
With the dragon/dragon hybrid profile?
I can't see that. I think it'd be sort of the dragon profile beefed up a bit, but with all the special rules. So you get tough hide, fly, worm tongue, and breathe fire.
Yeah, as
With-
part of it.
With a potential change to breathe fire, maybe he gets more will to do it because it's just.
That'd be good. That being said, what do you guys believe is the best point-for-point profile abilities for a monster? Trolls, dragons, or even heroes, etc. So in our last Q&A, our last Speak Friendly question, we answered this.
We've got a very similar question, yeah, and we think that it was Fell Beasts are the best point-for-point monster.
50 points.
50 points for that upgrade for a wing wraith to take, and it's so worth it. I mean, even if you take a basic wraith at 55 points and take a 50-point Fell Beast with him, no might or anything, essentially a warrior, but it's just so potent and deadly that, yeah. Keep it candid hydrating, thank you. And phone/watch beeping. Now, because it's only half past, I might just manually beep it.
I'm glad that, Joe, it's funny that you noticed that.
Yeah.
Because I say it all the time.
Yeah.
Damn, watch is beeping again. Yeah. Stay hydrated, kids. That's right. Okay, next up. Rory Swan. Do you prefer Legolas or Toriel?
Model and profile from the Desolation of Smaug. So, if it's a combination of model and profile from the Desolation of Smaug, I'd prefer Tauriel. However, if it was just model, I'd say Tauriel. And if it was just profile, I'd say Legolas. Just because I think Legolas's deadly shock can win games.
Yeah, that's annoying and difficult to deal with.
Yes, you can't really hide from it, besides hiding, and then you're not in the game.
Even if a part of you is showing.
Then he's got...
It's a nightmare.
Even if you're in combat...
It's a nightmare, especially for like, a Rohan player like me. It's an absolute nightmare to deal with.
It's like you get a horse? Not anymore.
That's how it works. I hate you, Legolas. But I agree with you. Tauriel's
model is beautiful.
Yeah, I like the model.
Yeah.
Very good. Very, very good. Hope that answers your question. Okay, next up.
Big one.
You want to read this one?
Thanks. From Lucas Gervin. Hi guys. Thanks for this long video. I liked it. Painting Azog on foot and still not done. Sad face. Jamie, you said the top 3 cavalry were Warg Marauders at number 1, Serpent Riders at number 2, and then Morgul Knights.
It's for evil cavalry, yeah.
Yes, this is for evil. I don't totally agree with that. Serpent Riders are number 2. Sorry. I don't totally agree that Serpent Riders are number 2 or even in the top 5. They only have defense 4 and have no stats which should make them really good cavalry. If you get beaten in a fight against a normal strength 3 in line, you're killed more than half the time. And if they don't get the charge, you're dead. Morgul Knights aren't. They have defense 6, armoured horses, terror, which makes them just like Wob Marauders, and are still able to do anything when counter-charged. Okay, we're going to discuss that a bit before we move on to your question. My reason being for Serpent Riders being up at the top is, one, the army, well, being behind Wild Marauders, is one, the army they come in can take 50% bows, and these models count towards that 50% bow limit, so you've got to think of the force as a total. Secondly, they are fight 4, which is great for cavalry, the exact same as the Morgul Knights. They have a lance that is poisoned, but they only cost 13 points, whereas those Morgul Knights cost 20. So you're getting a lot more models on the table overall than your Morgul Knights were.
I agree with him slightly. Because I had to look at the profile when you said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheap. If you consider the list as a whole, I mean, Harad lists are pretty nasty builds anyway,
yes,
aren't they, on the whole. 50% bows. On the charge, this is great. It's got that, having the poison on the lance, but again, the Morgul Knight's
It's got a lance, yeah.
It's got a lance. So I see where you're coming from. I do.
And there's also this long debate about whether defence is actually a statistic that you should take too much into consideration. Because you look at like the top armies that dominated pre-war bands, and it was mainly Wood Elves. Yet they've got the lowest defence in the game total, so defence can't play too much of a statistic. As long as you're winning your fights, your defence doesn't matter. I guess where it comes in is if you've been counter-charged, then you're more likely to die from that. But then if you're counter-charging your Morgul Knights, and if you've got bodyguard or if you've got a decent courage value, or there's no ring wraith around, then a trapped cavalry model is essentially a dead cavalry model, just like with any troop.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Terra goes some way to negate that, but that's a 20-point model you've lost rather than a 13-point. So that's why I think Serpent Riders are better.
Yeah, they're good for the points cost.
Yeah.
It's the same number of points as a rider of Rohan, and they're better.
Yeah.
So, apart from the fact that a rider of Rohan's got defence 5
And a bow.
These guys fight value 4 and a lance with poison.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. Cavalry model for cavalry model, I agree with him.
Oh yes, but then there's a reason.
But there's a reason because it's more points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope that. There's some more.
And there's the actual question: is why you both think expensive heroes aren't good at low points costs? I think they are really good because they are hard to beat. I usually play Azog on the White Warg at 500 points, and I use my right the right way. You must be referring to Steve there, not Heroic Striker.
Yeah.
And he's just unstoppable. Not Steve, Azog. I usually use him with Hunter Orcs and with the Undying on Armoured Horse and 7 Morgul Knights, and it's effective. So, yeah.
Well,
big heroes.
if you take expensive big heroes, then it's going to massively dent the number of troops that you can take, and any big hero is still vulnerable when surrounded. There's only some. Most heroes have got 3 attacks and 3 might max.
Yeah.
And yeah, they might have a higher fight value, but there's only so many times that's going to pay off.
Yeah.
You might get burnt and...
I mean, the fact you got the Undying along for the ride as well, he's another big hero. You mustn't be getting... What's that? So if you've got 7 Morgul Knights and Undying, so that's 8 models. So you're looking at 21 models in your force. Is that right? Yeah, 21. 21 models in your force at 500 points. Now, just off the top of my head, my Wood Elves tend to cap out around about 30, I think, at 500.
Would he get that? If he's got Azog on the White Wargs, that's 225.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the Undying...
Unarmoured Horse.
Unarmoured Horse, which is 135.
Yeah.
So that's...
What's that? 135.
360.
160 plus... Oh, it's just that? Oh, wow. So you have 9 models in a 500 point force.
But you've also put... You use him with Hunter Orcs. You don't have any points left, does he?
No, it wouldn't.
At 500 points, you wouldn't have any points left for Hunter Orcs?
Maybe you're not playing. Maybe the reason you're so unstoppable is you're overpointed. No, but my point is, sort of like, if you got an army that is, let's say it was 21 models.
Oh, I think that's supposed to be or. I usually use him with Hunter Orcs or, but you put of.
Oh, okay.
Or with the Undying on Armored Horse 7 Morgul Knights. It's effective. Right.
I just... In this situation, it comes back to the defence, because you've got such low numbers. You'd be whittled down by shooting potentially much quicker. And if you play to a scenario objective such as domination or reconnoitre or Lords of Battle, and something like Lords of Battle would be better for you. Taking hold or high ground, things where numbers matter for victory points. On the whole, they should be winning just through strength in numbers, and that's why I think big point heroes at low points, 500 you can get away with it. But I think lower points like 350 is you want sort of maybe one named hero, a very cheap hero, and then just fluff it out with as many warriors as possible. Because this ultimately is a numbers game, and numbers will pay out.
Yeah, if you're rolling more dice,
you got the higher chance.
You've got a higher chance of winning.
Yeah.
So rolling more dice is important, and also the number of wounds you can take.
Yeah.
So the number of wounds you can take is quite important, and obviously in a force like that, you can't really take too much punishment at all. But thanks very much for your comment. I mean, I agree with you. One big hero at 500 points is not too big, not an Aragorn or something, but because something that we mentioned before.
If you want, sorry, you speak.
I was going to say, if you watch the battle report with me versus Steve, where he brings Aragorn, Isildur's heir, I just ignored Aragorn and just took out the rest of his army, and I lost one soldier in the whole game. One Royal Guard, and that was the one that affected Aragorn. Yeah. So you can ignore these big points,
or just feed them enough to keep them at bay, whilst you tackle the rest of the army.
Well, look at that. If you've got Azog and an Undying 7 Morgul Knights. A lot of this game is about target priority, so it's quite easy to break you because you just kill a few of your Morgul Knights. Yeah. You wouldn't even necessarily focus on killing your others until
you needed to.
Until you needed to. So
don't take this as negativity. This is
no, definitely not.
I realise that it could be sounding quite negative what we're saying, but we're thinking if we were playing you across the table, what would we do? So for me with my Wood Elves, I would just shoot at your regular guys because I know I can either unhorse them or potentially kill them, and when you get to me, you'll either be broken, hopefully, best case scenario, or you'll have sort of very depleted forces, and I'll still have all my weighted numbers, all my might still available. So don't take it as negativity, but
that's our position.
Really. That's where we come from. I say a large hero at a small points value, unless you've gone full hero, doesn't really work too well.
Yeah. I hope that helps. And you put besides, I just bought 12 Metal Sons of Ale. Are you whittling down Games Workshop suppliers? Because that is not good news.
That is great news. Keep it up.
So Jamie, can you send me my 12 models?
Well, as I said, I was sending you broken Moria Goblins, so by all means.
Just joking. Thanks, Lucas. Thanks again, Lucas. Really appreciate all your comments. You're a great supporter. Yeah. Next up, Brandon Cooper. I've decided that I should start collecting dwarfs. What do you suggest I collect? So, big question again, Brandon.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, it's what you want to collect.
Depends which way you want to go.
Depends whether you want to go for dwarves. Can mean the army of Thror with Dwalin, Balin, Thorin, and the warriors of Erebor. Or the old ones with Gimli, Dane, Durin, and the old Dwarf Warriors. So it's up to you whether you want to go from each force. If you're going from the old dwarves, I'd highly suggest picking up Khazad Guard, either from eBay or in Finecast, because
Get loads of them on eBay.
Yeah.
All the time.
they are sort of like the best Dwarf Warrior as a whole, so they'd be worth picking up anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want to go for Warriors of Erebor, pick yourself up Warriors of Erebor, Army of Thrall, get yourself some Warriors of Erebor, and then you've got your
Spear support.
Your spear support dwarves as well. So I hope that helps. Hawk Swift. Hey guys, love this kind of channel. Thank you very much. Thank you. A mix of humour, fun, and the hobby makes for great entertainment and pleasure. That's good feedback,
That's
isn't
nice.
it?
That's nice to hear.
Thank you very much. A big question from me, and that is, what do you think would make a great alternate colour scheme for Warriors of Dale? They're usually red, brown, yellow, and gold. Please help. This is completely subjective.
Yes, it's entirely what sort of paint schemes you like to see. I know for me and my models, I like to have sort of a very blue orientated. It's my favourite colour, so I'd like to have sort of shadow. Well, it's not shadow grey anymore, but back in the old Games Workshop colour scheme, I don't know the new colours names. It used to be like shadow grey, I think Space Wolves grey, and just very sort of light blues and dark blues contrasting well together, or complementing each other. Sorry.
I mean, what I would say, so if it's usually red, brown, yellow and gold, so these are very warm colours. If you go for the opposite on the colour wheel, so hairdressers will know what I'm talking about, or people who are involved in design. So if you're going opposite from red, you've got your blues and your greens.
Browns remain brown.
Keep your brown there. And then for your yellow and gold, maybe go for your silver instead of gold. So maybe some blues and silver would look quite nice.
Blues, so very similar to not too dissimilar. Sorry, to the Lake Town models.
Yeah, and then that'd fit in quite
That
nice.
fit in quite well nicely. That they'd be sort of like the elite Lake Town Guard.
Maybe a good person to ask might be DMS of Shadow and Flame,
yeah.
because he is a fantastic painter. So maybe he'll leave a comment for you in our next Q&A. Okay, next up, Grant Heil.
Is that Hell?
Is it Hell?
No, it's Heil.
It's Heil. Did the Corsair captains and bosuns go out of production, or will GW bring them back?
Well, we checked on the Games Workshop website for you and we couldn't see them, so we assume they've gone.
And I'm pretty sure they were a Finecast box set as well, so maybe they've run out and that's it.
Maybe.
I don't think they'll make any more.
I doubt we'll see any of the Lord of the Rings range that's not already Finecast made into Finecast now. I think they've picked their best sellers, made them into Finecast, and the rest was just going to run out of stock.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It might be worth, I don't know if you're checking on the UK site, obviously we checked on the UK. If you check all the different Games Workshops, you might find a box in some of the others, if you are willing to look.
And pay for the overseas postage.
And pay for the overseas postage. If you really want them,
yeah,
worth doing that.
Very worth it. It should only be a couple of quid.
Somebody did that when the Grey Company models went out of production. I know that I think they picked up the last Grey Company models, maybe from Australia or something. So it cost them a bit more, but probably less than what you'll now have to pay on eBay.
Yeah.
Now that they're out. So doesn't look like they'll bring them back. It's a shame. I've already got mine now.
You can always convert your warriors to be a captain as well. If you put them on a rock, that's a great way of sort of standing them out from the rest of the crowd. I'm saying that's a hero.
Next up, we've got Werner's Miniatures. I understand that Jamie hadn't time since he went to the barber. Is that in response to something?
Must be a response to something, but unfortunately that was a week ago and I can't remember.
Can't remember. Not a question this time, but you guys inspired me to start a friendly league with my local gaming group, the Fellowship of the Miniatures.
It's perfect. That's
sort
of like what we want to see happening. Thank you, Werner.
Warm and fuzzy feelings inside when we hear things like that.
Yeah.
Really, really good news. Maybe you guys who haven't done that yet, maybe start up a local league.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be guys that you know play SBG. Maybe just war gamers generally. Just introduce them to the system.
Try and get them in. Yeah.
Good way to get a league going is to have like a prize of some kind. So maybe pick up a box of something and it'd be good. One good riddance. I am listening to this while painting my Revenge Force. Druzag Spiders, after a most ignominious defeat yesterday afternoon.
Who beat you? Tell us. Take them out for you.
Yeah, we will find them. Or not. But it's good to hear that you're listening to these while you're doing some painting, and that's been a real sort of running theme.
That's what these videos are good for, because it's just us sat here with a Christmas tree in the middle. There's nothing particularly going on the screen.
I know it sounds a little bit of a weird thing to say, but I like watch back over like some of our battle reports or some of the videos you do, or even our Q&As when I'm doing painting, because I get loads done. It's not that I'm necessarily always listening to it, but
it's just there. And
it's just there.
It's hobby related, and it just is nice to have on.
Okay, next up we've got Issa Ali. Posted far too late, so here's my comment on the last vid. Hi, Black One Blade from the forums.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry if I'm late.
It's okay.
Anyway, a wizard is never late. He arrives exactly when he means to. Yeah. But you're not a wizard, so
you're late.
You're late. Anyway, I think you may have heard that the source books have been discontinued in Australia. What? I have not heard that.
No, I hadn't known that either.
Could be a sign that they're not going to be available in the UK soon, or if it's just a stock problem. Well, I don't care, because I've got them all.
We should care, though. We do care.
I do care, of course I care.
No.
I'll just sell these for a lot of money.
It's
and if you like a source book, these go for £1,000.
It seems very strange that they would discontinue the source books, because they require the source books to sell the models, realistically. Unless they are going to try out maybe just digital downloads for you, maybe you're going to be like a test zone for them. It would make sense that Australia get tested for that, because they are so far, well, you are so far away from the Games Workshop hub, as it were, that digital downloads for source books would make sense, because it's no cost to send it.
It's possible it's a stock problem, they're just waiting on stock to get out there.
Just easily, yes. With it being this time of year, there's so much freight getting around that it might have just been delayed or held up or, lost. Could be anything.
But keep us up to date with that, because
it's very interesting. Sort of, it gives us sort of a heads up for what's going to happen potentially at home. P.S.
James would be a Rohan militia. A Rohan militia.
A Rohan militia. You're not even a warrior.
That's ridiculous.
You're like a farmhand. Go plough a field.
You've obviously not met me. Nails.
Plough a field.
And Jamie was a Dunland berserker. That's well better than a Rohan militia. What? We're not friends anymore. But now he's one of those lazy Gondor guards at some random border.
Still, at least I'm a guard.
Yeah, that's not bad. Rohan militia? You kidding me?
None of you could be elves. Or men with Numenorian heritage. Because I think man with long hair is... I had long hair!
And this is deceptively long.
No, it's not.
It's just swept.
Short as anything. Shorter than my hair.
Right, well, I thought that we could be friends, Black One Blade, but no more.
No. I'm happy with Berserker. I could grow a beard, but it can be fine.
Next up, Frodo. It's like Frodo without the zeros.
Maybe the O's have got the rings on. They're visible.
Oh, I like it. Have you been thinking that?
No, I'm actually not.
That's quite good. You want to read this one?
Yeah. Hey James and Jamie, greetings from Canada. Hello!
Hello!
I like Canada.
What do you mean?
No, but I've got family who live out there and I intend to impose on them at some point.
I was supposed to go travelling in Canada after I came back from Iraq, and the lad I was going with, he had family over there, and we were going to go and work on the farm.
Just impose on him, like, hey!
We were, and then we were just going to travel around, do it random, and then he let me down and went to university. What was he thinking?
What a mistake.
Now he's got a great job in London city centre, like in the city. No, he's lost his soul.
I was going to say, the company I work for, Merlin, they've just opened up, just about a year ago, opened up LDC Toronto, Legoland Discovery Centre in Toronto. So my eventual plan was hopefully either to move out to Canada or to Australia, New Zealand.
Wow.
They are like my long-term goals if I stay with Merlin.
There you go.
Yeah.
The future.
They'll
all be panicking
now.
What? James will have to answer these questions on his own again. What?
It's not for a very, very long time, and that's a very pipeline dream. But Frida says, thanks for all the videos, guys. It's fantastic to watch and listen to your videos while working on the hobby, which is what we want.
Yeah, great to hear.
He managed to paint a Ward Rider and base a few during this video, and I'm loving the extra length, hoping for 2 hours this week.
We're not doing bad, 40 minutes.
40 minutes, and this is quite concise, not a full length one. So these probably are just going to keep growing and growing, and we will potentially in the future maybe need to cut out some questions we've answered before and things.
Maybe. Or just cycle through them,
He says, I'm making a Mordor army made of troops that I already own. What kind of 500 points list will work best when made from only the following troops? 14 Wild Riders, a Mounted Orc Captain, 12 Morannon Orcs, a Nazgul or Witch King on foot, an Orc Shaman, an Orc Captain, Gorbag, Shagrat, many Orc Warriors, a Banner, Troll Chieftain and a Troll. Of course he's hoping to buy some more new heroes such as a Fellbeast, but he would like to stick with the warriors that he currently has.
You've got a good start there.
We have.
So Jamie's already sort of gone through this.
I went through this whilst we were going through the questions just to double check and get some ideas. I thought a good sort of generic 500 point force might be your Mordor Troll Chieftain with 6 Morannons with shield, 6 Orcs with spear. The Witch King with 3 might, 11 will, with 2 fate, and he'd be your general. Again with 6 Morannon Orcs with shield and 6 Orcs with spear. And then an Orc Shaman with 6 Orcs with spear and 6 Orcs with shield. And that gives you a good amount of numbers, some very good heroes, a monster. Witch King is great at neutralising big heroes, and then Orc Shaman is going to pass your courage and give you the 5+ Fury when you channel Fury. So it seems like a pretty decent just stand-up force.
Got a good start there.
Yeah.
Good start there. Thanks very much for your question, Frida. Next up we got random 336933. Hi, starting a 500 point Dwarf and Men of Dale army, but I'm stuck for a hero in Dale Warband. Any advice? Great video, thanks. Again, we had a little chat about this before.
Yeah.
You could always go for a Captain of Dale or
Girion
when he gets released. Yeah. But for the time being, you might want to take those Dale warriors as part of your army of Thor.
Yeah.
And put a...
put maybe just Balin.
Maybe have them with bows.
Yeah, with Balin at the back so you can just sort of babysit them and use his special rule.
Because that's the thing that the Army of Thor list lacks until Warriors of Dale came out.
Yeah,
is the bows.
Is the bowman.
So maybe you could have your Thorin with some warriors available, smaller warband, not too small but smaller. Dwalin, again smaller warband, and then Balin with Warriors of Dale bows.
That's definitely good. And hopefully I should be getting Warriors of Dale box so we can do some unboxing for them and check out their rules and we can look at the models. Because nice. I know I've been sent some messages asking if we do unboxing for certain things, and Dale has been a very highly requested one.
They're gorgeous models.
Yeah.
They look gorgeous.
And we can sort of get a glimpse at what the Lake Town is going to be like and what their scale will be.
So next up, and this is the final question, which is being answered at 3:52 PM on Christmas Eve. So any questions after this one, make sure you copy and paste them and put them in this Q&A underneath this video.
Also with Google Comments, it's worth changing it to newest first so you get the chronological list that we've read through. We're not going through top comments because it all gets a bit jumbled and the YouTube comment system's not brilliant at the moment. So hit newest first, and when you see the Wargamer TV's comments, anything after that hasn't been answered and will be answered next week. So post in this video. So
thanks for the final question, the Wargamer TV. Great video, guys. Kept me entertained while I was wrapping Christmas presents. That's good.
It's festive.
I'm currently working on a Goblin Town board. Sorry, Jamie, I don't like Goblin Town boards. The reason why.
Because you keep losing on them.
Yeah, I played on Goblin Town twice and lost twice. Yeah. It's not very good for cavalry though, really, is it? Really?
But I could make it work.
I bet you couldn't. That's the same cavalry force that's beaten you 3 times.
Yeah, I'd use it better than you would. So his question is, what Middle-earth location would you most like to see made into an epic gaming table? Have a good Christmas.
You have a good Christmas too, all of you.
I
hope you had a good Christmas.
Yes, yeah, this is released after
Sunday,
Christmas.
yeah.
So, hope you all got lots of Hobbit stuff and hobby stuff. Let us know in the comments what you got. For me, I would love to see a huge Lake Town board where the entire sort of ground is water. You've got lots of swim tests and models drowning if they fall in.
Boats.
And lots of boats and barrels and things that you can jump to and from. And it's all like the films where everything's got like a sort of pathway for the boats in between.
The real reason Jamie would like to see a board like that is because it's not very good for cavalry to play on.
It's just like Goblin Town, but instead of chasms, it's water.
Yeah. I think that'd be really cool. I'd like some of the... maybe a Rivendell.
Yeah.
Just not necessarily ideal for gaming, but it'd look great.
Yeah. Have you seen the... someone made a Lego Rivendell.
No, I've not seen it.
I'll send you a link to it, but you might have seen it as well out there. There was a Lego Rivendell made up, and it was absolutely huge. Like, just massive scale. had scenes from all the films in where Rivendell's used, and it looked amazing.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be cool for a board.
Also, guys, we've also got some other news, and that is that we are now on Twitter.
Yeah!
Yeah, we're now on Twitter.
Yeah.
And getting to grips with that. So if you are a tweeter and want to get involved, it is I Love Wargaming at Twitter.
Yeah. If anyone's interested in why we've gone with I Love Wargaming rather than GBHL or The Hobbit, it's because we sort of want to start to distance ourselves a little bit from the Great British Hobbit League, because we are here for the entire community of The Hobbit now, not just the league. It started off as just promoting the league games, but now we've sort of taken off and become our own little thing. And I Love Wargaming is also going to keep us out of trouble with the Hobbit branding. So
it's not just that. One of the best ways of spreading love for the Hobbit strategy battle game will be to tap into other wargamers who play other systems such as 40k, Warhammer, Infinity. One that we've been looking at doing maybe on a small scale soon is a Batman miniatures game. That looks like good fun.
Looks like very good fun.
And quite cheap skirmish game to get into.
Yep. Things like Malifaux, Warhammer Hordes, other game systems. You got one. You think you got to pull one out, aren't you? Star Wars X-Wing, and hopefully maybe even some board games to try and get sort of that full coverage of the everything nerdy to do with the tabletop.
Yeah, I mean, our main focus is still going to be our passion, which is...
And always will be The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
But we think what might be a good way in the future...
to sort of like bring people into this game is to play their games in something like what we thought we might call it a Let's Try, so like Let's Try Batman Miniatures game. And hopefully people will search that, find us, become fans of the content we produce, and then go find Lord of the Rings and think, actually that looks like a decent game.
It's our sneaky plan.
Yes.
This is our sneaky conversion plan.
We convert loads of wargamers into Hobbit and Lord of the Rings players.
Because we want this system to be supported, because it's our favourite system, it's our passion, it's the world and the setting that we both enjoy. So yeah, we'll never go away from that.
And now's the perfect time to do this, with the films being released, and there's lots of hype in the air and lots of things just generally across social media where there is just Hobbit related stuff, and new games are getting released all the time, and it is the time to sort of utilise this to get people back into the game. So
we want you guys to get out there, support your Hobbit hobby, try and find some new gamers, some players, come and get involved in the league, come and get involved in various events that are going on this next year. We're going to Malice in Wonderland in January. We're probably going to try and go to a more.
Yes, yeah.
We've got our own in
April, yeah.
We'll do an announcement video for that very, very soon. With all of the details, because we know that tons of you from around the world
are going to come visit us and take part in our event, so we're going to put on the best thing we can for you.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely superb, going to be a great event. As always, this has been James and Jamie doing another Speak, Friend and Question. We hope you all had a great Christmas. Happy Strategy Battle Gaming.